These are all of the Easter eggs that you can do on Liberty Falls. I thought I would wait a few days for them to all actually be found. So first of all, the music Easter egg by Kevin Sherwood on Liberty Falls. I believe it's called Destroy Something Beautiful, and it's an absolute banger. So like usual, there are 3 items that you need to interact with that you can do in any particular order to play the song. The first one can be found by the motel. If you make your way through this alleyway, you will see it's right over here up the stairway, right in the corner by the fence. And it's Mr. Peaks' ears with headphones on. The next one can be found in the Dark Ether section of the church on Liberty Falls, of course the main central area of the map, so you should be familiar with where it is. If you head into the church, it will be right over here on this bench that you can again press square X or F to activate. Third and finally, but like I say, you can do it in any particular order, the next one can be found if you make your way outside of the church, traverse all the way through these roads and cars and barriers, come past this bus, make your way down to this staircase, and you'll find it underneath this bench here. Press square X or F to activate that, and then you'll be able to hear the full Easter egg song in all its glory, which I'm going to play for you to enjoy now, but I would definitely recommend doing it in your game as well. Enjoy this masterpiece. I'm so glad that Kevin is back with bangers.
Your voice still echoing in me, an ocean of tranquility.
Moving on, we have the Rave dancing bus Easter egg. All you need to do is head to the riverside, and through these two little lookout goggles, you just need to scan where there are 2 points where you see dancing zombies in the distance on top of the cliffs. When you spot them, you just need to look at them for a few seconds each, and after you do the second one, a bunch of electricity will spawn in on it, and then the zombies will be attracted to the bus nearby and begin dancing. Here is the footage.
Couldn't face me alone, could you?
Now we have the Mr. Pig's Disco Bowling Ball Easter egg. Following tradition with Cold War, these Easter eggs are back, and they are so good. In order to do this, you need to locate and shoot 5 different bowling shoes that can be found around the map. And of course, you can do them in any particular order. This first one can be found by the pump and pay station, shoot it there by the cachet machine. This next one can be found if you go by Hill Street, and it's right underneath this chair here, so shoot that there. The next one can be found if you go past the fried chicken and the bus, head into this barrier, and you will see it just down there in the corner in the dark. The next one can be found if you traverse your way through the graveyard, through the church, and come all the way to the back, and you will see that the shoes are hanging on the tree back there, so shoot that one there. Finally, the next one can be found within this barrier here by the West Main Street, so shoot that one there. After which you'll get teleported into the bowling alley. It doesn't matter if you haven't opened it up, you'll just get teleported in here, and you'll see a bunch of manglers and zombies jamming away, discoing, and you'll see Mr. Peaks as well, dancing, floating there above the bowling alley. And basically, this is a game of bowling. You can bowl at your own discretion. You do have a 2-minute timer, so be cautious of that, but basically the goal of this is to try and hit as many zombies as you possibly can. The more you hit, the more successful you are, and the better the rewards you will get at the end. There's so many different rewards. You can get a ray gun, you can get many different perks, upgraded weapons. It really varies a lot, like I say, depending on how good you actually do at the game itself. And if you're in a multiplayer game, you can compete against each other as well, which is a nice touch. So yeah, what do you think of this Easter egg? It's so much fun, and like I say, I'm really glad that they are back. So the goal of this game actually isn't to knock down the pins, like you probably will initially think upon entering here. You only get points for actually hitting the zombies. As you can see, knocking down the pins doesn't reward you with any points. And in order to actually bowl itself, you need to charge down your shot by just holding it, and then of course throwing it. Now if you actually manage to achieve the high score, this is actually for the Deadwood achievement / trophy to achieve a sporting high score, which the high score you can get on this is 300 for the absolute best loot. You get 10 points per zombie, so you need to be getting at least 2 per bowling ball that you throw, and the high score is of course different in multiplayer games. I believe for the achievement, if you are on solo, you need to get 300 plus, and for the Dark Ops achievement, regardless, you need to get 300 plus score. If you are in a multiplayer game, you need to get over 250, so 260. And yeah, once the timer has run out, everyone will still be dancing, and Mr. Peaks will be there, and he'll explode and grant you with your rewards. Here you can see what looks to be a jellyfish talisman as a trophy, which gives some salvage, some armor, and a purple sniper. Like I say, if you get a lot more of the zombies, you will get even better rewards. Also, you are able to redo this bowling Easter egg after you have teleported out. At the end, some shoes will spawn in the toilet through this barricade in the bowling alley, zombie that you were able to shoot to redo it. I believe you can do this a few times in your game. So yeah, that's been that. Let me know if you try this out yourself. Comment down below what rewards you get in your game. We now have the Raining Zombies Easter egg, or Make It Rain. The wild Easter egg where zombies will start flying at you from the sky and dropping down, giving you a bunch of free loot. All you need to do in order to do this is if you head over to the church on Liberty Falls, if you look up at the spire, there's a tiny little zombie head up there. All we need to do is shoot it with an explosive weapon, and literally any explosive works for this, whether it be a ray gun, a rocket launcher, a grenade, and then it will start making it rain. Zombies will start falling from the sky for about a minute, so you have about a minute of loot that'll come raining at you, ranging from salvage, armor, essence, even ether tools, score streaks, and a whole bunch more. It's definitely recommended to do this near the beginning of your game, a good way to get started. Furthermore, this is how you can get free Deadshot. Now, you need to go ahead and get a sniper in order to do this, or you can use a marksman rifle, and if you head over to the cemetery by the church, if you look out of bounds on the fence, you will see there are 5 cans, and you need to shoot all 5 in a row, and this is timed, so you need to shoot them all in succession quickly. Also, it is recommended to turn down your FOV, it'll just make it easier for you to see them, and if you do so successfully, you will have a free Deadshot Daquiri can that you will immediately consume. Nothing too crazy, but I wonder if there's going to be more free perk Easter eggs like this. And there is no Deadshot or Elemental Pop perk machines on the map, so you can only get these from the Wonder Fizz, so I guess that's why they're giving you this free Easter egg. So there's probably one for Elemental Pop as well, which I'll leave a link to down below once it is found. In addition, this is the free Fire Trap Easter egg. If you head into the Dark Ether Church, you will see that there are these candles, and basically you just need to shoot them all until they set on fire. Depending on your weapon, it may take a bit longer, and you need to have the Napalm Burst ammo mod on your weapon in order to light them, or alternatively, you can use Molotov or Thermo grenades. Maybe there's some other weapons that can be used, such as some score streaks, anything that does flames. But once you have shot them all to set them all alight, it'll activate a fire trap where a lot of the ground will set alight in the church. You need to be careful to not damage yourself, of course, but this is extremely useful, especially in the final boss fight in the Easter egg, or if you're just trapped in here, or if you just want to use it. It's just a fun little cool thing you can play around with. Moving on, this is the Vending Machine Loot Easter egg, in order to get yourself some free essence points, salvage, and there is even a chance that you can get a free gold ray gun from this. You can get score streaks and even gobblegums. You can pretty much get potentially anything from here. Firstly, if you just buy the new perk Melee Macchiato for 3,000 points, which obviously gives you a Thunder Fist type melee, if you then come over to this vending machine on Liberty Falls and punch it, it will drop you a bunch of free loot. Nothing too crazy, but there's lots of little cool Easter eggs like this in the game. As it turns out, if you don't use Melee Macchiato, you can just use a regular melee and just keep spamming the vending machine, and it'll keep spitting out loot for you. You can get perks, you can get ray guns, you can get all sorts of stuff, score streaks, no matter what, from this, and that's probably better than using Melee Macchiato, to be honest. So you might as well try it out every single round. Now, if you have damaged the vending machine with Melee Macchiato, you can't do this again, so that's why I recommend just hitting it normally. These are all of the free power-up locations on the map. You can do these whenever you want in your game. The first one can be found on the rooftop of the Alamo. You can see it through this window here, which you can then shoot, and it'll activate a nuke. And this is really good because you can use this for exfilling, making it much easier. You can just shoot it right as you're about to exfil from this point and get away really easily. Or it can be useful, I guess, if you are surviving up here and you need a last second getaway. We now have double points, which is very useful. If you come over to the cemetery and look over at this water tower here, you'll see it on the middle panel right here. Shoot it and you'll get a double points. Amazing. Moving over to full power, if you come by the Liberty Lines bowling alley, and if you look through this barrier by the Project Janus tank, you will see it just down there that you can shoot. Now, max ammo, that is very, very useful. If you come onto the rooftop of Spawn on the abandoned rooftop, you will see it just across the bridge here, right there, which you can shoot and activate. And in this game in particular, it gives 2 for some reason. I'm not really sure what exactly went on here. Now, for insta-kill, this can be located again by the cemetery, just on the rooftop of the church that you can see right here, that you can go and shoot. Now, we have the bonus points power up, which can be found by Riverside. If you look your way up above Ollie's comic book shop, in the window on the balcony, you can shoot that there, and it will give you 500 points for free. Enjoy. And for free max armor, if you come over to Washington Avenue again, in through this barrier right at the back, if you shoot there, you'll go ahead and get yourself free armor. And I believe that is all of them. I don't believe there's one for the fire sale for mystery box spins, unfortunately. But if one is found, I'll be sure to update you. This is the blood pool loot Easter egg to get yourself some free loot. So first of all, you need to also have Semtex grenades. And if you come over to West Main Street, behind this fence, you'll see a blood pool, and you need to throw 3 Semtexes into the pool. I'm not exactly sure if this works with other grenades. A giant red orb will come flying out, giving you a bunch of salvage, equipment, stims, etc. There's the possibility you can get better loot from this the higher the round, or just by random luck. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, just a cool little Easter egg here. And here's the thing, whilst there isn't a free fire sale power-up that can be directly located on the map, you are actually able to redo this Easter egg up to 3 times in your game. So you just need to wait 5 rounds. You can re-throw in the Semtexes to redo this Easter egg. I believe the odds of getting better and better loot each time increase as well, and if you do it 3 times, on the 3rd time you will be guaranteed a fire sale power-up. So you can spawn it directly, and you will only be able to do it on said vermin round, so you still have to go high into the rounds. So it's not as good as the other free power-ups, but this is a way you can get it. Now this is how to do the exploding cars Easter egg. So basically there are 3 different cars around the map, and I'll be showing gameplay in the background of all of their locations, and in one of them there is a Mr. Peaks bunny. There's the potential there might be more than this, but I'm pretty sure there is just 3. But if you manage to locate which one actually has the Mr. Peaks bunny in, which you can see right here in this 3rd one, once you have located which one has the bunny in, you can do 2 methods to get the loot. The first is if you have a mangler cannon, which you can either have as loot or from the mystery box, or buy it via the crafting table with salvage, you can simply explode the boot with it and it will give you that loot. You can also explode these cars with the mutant injection score streak because they literally turn you into a mangler. The other way is when a mangler spawns in, you can lure it to the car that has the Mr. Beast bunny in, and if it shoots the back of it, it will then explode out all of the loot. Now, it's possible the higher the round you are on, the better the loot you will get, or maybe the loot is just completely random, but you can potentially get ray guns or really good things from here, but of course your odds are not that high. And also you can do multiple of these cars in a game, so I'm not sure how many rounds you have to survive until the bunny spawns in again, whether it's 5 rounds, 10, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, that's been the cool little Easter egg here. I hope you enjoy, and let me know what you get in the comments below. This is how you can complete the World Domination Achievement / trophy, and this will turn you into Aetherella, the amazing trap from the map. So cool. It's pretty easy to do as well. Firstly, you will need to have the jet gun. Either you've gotten it lucky from loot / the box. If not, I will have a link to a guide in this video's description on how you can actually craft the jet gun very easily. Once you have the jet gun though, there are different Aetherella figurines around the map that you simply need to suck up with the jet gun. There are 10 in total. I believe you can do these in any particular order. One can be found in the Dark Aether Church, but it's quite high up on the windowsills. Look up there and suck it up. Another one can be found by the motel. If you come over to this right hand side here, you are then able to suck this one up. The next one can be found on top of the Liberty Lanes lettering place itself, so go ahead and suck that one up here. Another one can be found on this side of the wall if you head on top of the rooftop that faces opposite to the water tower. Suck that one up. Another one can be found in this building by the motel on the middle rooftop here. Now the final 4, but like I say, you can do these in any particular order, can be found inside of the comic book shop. So I'll be showing footage of all 4 of them now that you are able to suck up. And then after you have done that, you will turn into the Aetherella robot and just absolutely laser and decimate everything in your path. So cool. And you'll also get the achievement, of course. And you can go into the boss fight with Aetherella, so it's very useful in the Easter egg to completely decimate that and basically be invincible. If you time the final one that you suck up to be the one in the church, and have all of the others prepped for when you enter the boss. And you can exfil with it too, so it can really help out there. And you can even upgrade Aetherella. So if you've gone ahead and activated Aetherella itself, the cool thing is if you go inside of the comic book shop and activate the Aetherella trap, it will give you a boosted enhanced speed. It will put you in this ether shroud, and then you'll be extremely fast, but it seems to still last the exact same amount of time, so I'm not really sure what the point of this Easter egg is. Maybe there is some way to get more consistent Aetherella so you can use it over and over again instead of it just being a one-time thing. Now this is actually how you build and get the free jet gun on the map if you don't want to spam the mystery box for endless amounts of time. There are 3 different parts that you need to collect, but you can do them in any particular order, but this time when you craft it, it doesn't break like the original in transit. So one of the 3 parts can be obtained from a zombie that will spawn in near the graveyard called the Groundskeeper. He should be common, so I would just recommend keep checking back here, keep just killing a load of zombies here, and he will eventually spawn in not too long. So you need to look out for his name because he'll only last on the map for around 20 seconds or so until he despawns, and he's wearing a farming outfit, a flannel, very distinct from the other zombies. He seems to spawn in about once a round. After you kill him, he will drop a tool shed key that you can pick up. So head left from where you are in the graveyard and you'll find the tool shed, and you can go up to it and now open it. Inside will be the handbrake, the first part for it. I guess he built it. The next part you need to obtain will require you to have a mangler cannon, which you are able to obtain from the crafting table or from a mangler drop. If you head over to the riverside, you'll see this electronics store here, and you just need to shoot it with your mangler cannon, which will break open the door. You can also use a mutant injection score streak for this similarly, or similar to the car Easter egg, you can also lure a mangler here, and if you line yourself up with the door, you can get it to shoot the door to open it for you if you don't have the salvage to get a mangler cannon, and haven't gotten any luckily from loot. After you roam inside, you will see that there is a pile of debris, a pile of metal that you are able to interact with, which will give you the electric wires which you can collect. Now the third part you need to get is probably the most difficult out of the 3, so I recommend trying to do this on a lower round. You need to head over to Washington Alley where there is Lily's flower shop. There is a water hose outside, and if you go up to it, you can pick up the valve. Now you need to make your way over to the bowling alley, and you'll see that you are able to attach the water valve. Simply shoot it to open it up, and then you can place the valve on it, and interact with it to turn it. You need to keep turning the valve for about 30 odd seconds, which is obviously quite difficult if you are on solo, which is why you need to do this on a lower round when there's not too many zombies, because if they're attacking you, you're going to be interrupted. I guess you can throw a monkey ball or something like that, or try and do it in between rounds. If you're in a multiplayer game, it's obviously easy, just have someone to protect you. You also cannot leave the bowling alley, otherwise it'll reset. But the good news is you don't need to turn it all in one session, so if you just keep going back to it, you can keep turning it from the point it was left. It doesn't reset unless you actually leave the building. Anyways, once you fully manage to turn it, you'll be able to pick up the pressure valve. Now to actually build the jet gun, you need to go to the top of the motel. If you don't already have it opened, you will need to do that. The door will bust open here, and some zombies will come out and attack you, so just be prepared. If you head inside, you can see the crafting table, and then you can build the jet gun, aka the Thrustodyne M23, but who calls it that? And yeah, let me know what you think of the jet gun now. Obviously, it's super overpowered, so much better to how bad it was in Black Ops 2, and not annoying. It's a radical difference, so this may be a lot of your first time trying out the jet gun now if you haven't been lucky so far to get it. Also, we have the obvious one, the vault Easter egg on the map. These are the 3 codes that you need in order to open the vault on Liberty Falls to go ahead and get yourself some random loot. Now, most of the time, unfortunately, you do get pretty bad loot, but you can get better things. You can get a free ray gun, for example, so it is worth doing since it doesn't take too long. Hopefully, they do buff the rewards in the future. So the vault obviously is located inside of the bank, and in order to open it, there's 3 different post-it notes with the exact codes you need. The first one is inside the bank itself on this counter right near the vault, so very easy. It has some writing on, but you just need to pay attention to the number. If you don't have good memory, just note it down, or if you're in a multiplayer game, have a friend to remember it or something, or take a screenshot. And it it also shows the position of the number itself. You'll see there are 3 different dashes, so in this case it's a number 34 in the first position. The next post-it note for the code can be found inside of the bowling alley, so make your way over there. If you head over to the bar on the counter, there's a bottle that's covering the note, so you need to shoot it first, if you haven't done so already by accident, to uncover the note. In this case it's number 12 in the third position. The third note can be found inside of the comic store where there's Aetherella underneath the cachet counter. You will see it there. In this case it's number 39 in the second position. Once you've noted down all 3 codes and you know the positions, you can make your way all the way back into the vault and you can input the numbers in the exact order that they are. In a multiplayer game you'll probably need someone to protect you, or do it at the end of a round with 1 zombie left if you're in a solo game. It'll take some time for the vault to actually open up. You can then interact with it to actually enter the vault. I wonder why you just teleport in here. It's a bit weird, but yeah, there's different people's cases that you are able to open up that you can obtain some loot from. In this case it gives Juggernog, for example. You need to get locker keys by just killing the elite bosses in the game. Of course, the rarer the key, which you get for harder runs and higher rounds, the higher the chance of better loot you will obtain. Trek have actually patched it now so you can only go into the vault 3 times in a single round because there were some glitches to do with it. We now have the Dig Graves Easter egg to begin digging on Liberty Falls to get yourself some loot, similar to how you can dig on Terminus. I believe this was found by Nanakos as well as Jack47. So by the Washington Avenue rooftops, on top of the wall as you are looking out to the church, you will see a barrel right behind it just here. And it's recommended to mark the location so that you're easily able to identify it. What you need to do is you need to get a chopper gunner score streak, and you can use Hellstorm missiles as well. Now, there is the potential that maybe you can do this with another score streak, I'm not exactly sure. And if you begin flying above, you basically need to line up your shot to be able to shoot the barrel. If you shoot it, it will break and it will drop a shovel on the ground. So if you come back up here after you are done with your chopper gunner, you can pick up the shovel. Now, if you head over to the graveyard by the church, there will now be dirt patches that you are able to dig up. You can dig up literally every single one of the graves. That again will give random loot. You can get really good stuff such as the jet gun, ray gun, crystals, gobblegums, etc. But you may also just get salvage, essence, etc. The usual stuff. Spiders and other enemies may come up as you're doing this. I believe with this Easter egg, the higher the round you are on, the higher the chance of getting good loot from these graves, and that seems to be the consensus with all of the other Easter eggs as well. Now, I believe you can use the LBDR and potentially some of the other grenade launchers or rocket launchers in the game, or using grenades, but you have to be extremely precise with them, and most of the time it doesn't work, so I'd recommend just using the score streak method. But it's not entirely impossible to do it this way, but you really have to line things up in a very precise way. Just like on Terminus, there is a little cool Easter egg as well. In the bowling alley, there is a pool table, and if you shoot the balls with any weapon, all of the balls will always go into all of the holes and grant you 100 free essence. Just a cool little bonus to get you started in your game. Now for the main Easter egg, Bye Bye Dark Ether. Nice and easily. And you will also unlock a Project Janus blue variant of the ray gun. Now this one was solved extremely quickly. Now obviously the guided version of the Liberty Falls quest is now out, so I would recommend just doing that first and then attempting the regular version. It's probably going to be more helpful for you than this guide, but nevertheless, let's jump into it. The first thing that you need to do is of course open Pack-a-Punch. The game literally guides you, so I don't need to explain that away. Just open up all the barriers to make your way to the church and then open it up. Once you have access to the Dark Ether Church, there is a gigantic machine that you simply need to interact with, which will play some dialogue. After the dialogue is finished, you need to interact with the machine once again. After you have done that, you need to get the jet gun in any method, whether it's from the mystery box or the little side Easter egg to craft it. You now need to collect 3 parts with the jet gun to build the LTG device. If you head to the left of Panos, you need to suck up to the left of him. Similarly, you need to head to the comic store and suck up the ceiling. After you have done this by Speed Color where there is the bus, you need to suck up through this window here. For this one above Speed Color, you need to jump off of the rooftop from the window ledge from the opposite building to get on top of this truck so that you're now within range. These are the 3 parts that you need for the LTG. From here, head to the rooftop of the bank and you are then able to build and craft the LTG. You then need to grab the canister that is actually in the machine from the church, head over to Hill Street, and you need to place it down by the field generator trap spot, by where there is this circular spot on the floor. Now that you have the LTG, if you head over to the graveyard, there's of course this ether storm, this bolt of electricity, and you simply need to place the LTG underneath the storm. You then need to hold down and defend it from zombies for about a minute, not allowing them to enter the ether. And a high value target will spawn that is either a mangler or an abomination. In this case it's a mangler, and you need to weaken it, but do not kill it until its eyes are glowing purple, and then you need to lure it over towards where there is the canister. You need to lure it and keep it here until it starts to glow purple, and then activate the field generator trap with it near the canister. Kill the mangler whilst it is within this purple field energy. You need to make sure that the boss is close enough to the trap when you kill it. Its soul essence transfers into the canister to charge it. Once you've done this, the canister is ready for you and you can pick it up, and then if you head back to the church, you can place it back into the machine now that it's charged with the essence. And you have 90 seconds to do this to walk back to the machine in the church. This machine will then give you a device from Dr. Strauss called the Strauss counter, and you'll get a quote about this Strauss counter. After some time it will then give you back the device. There are then 3 different projectors located around the map, and you need to set them to specific colours. I believe you can do them in any particular order. There's one in the groundskeeper's yard, one in the bowling alley, and the roof of the Yummy Freeze store. The Strauss device indicates what colour you need to set them to. As you are looking at the ether turret, pull out your Strauss device and it will tell you the colour that you need to set it to, which will be displaying either green, yellow, or red. And you just need to interact with the turret to change the colour to what you need. So do this at each of the spots. They can all be the same colour or different colours. There's any combination that you can receive. Now for this counter, you actually need to set it to the opposite colour that it's displaying. So for example, if it's green, you need to do it red. If it's red, you need to do it green. But if it's in the middle, a yellow, you just need to keep it yellow, of course. So the sensitivity is the opposite because it's indicating the sensitivity, of course. So a lot of people have been confused about this, but hopefully that makes sense. But you are also able to just do this randomly through brute force and just filter through them. When all 3 of them are aligned, they will then shoot a laser at the machine that damages you. They will all shoot out electric beams that will join. Check the pulsating health/damage output of the purple objects right next to the gas station. If you've done this correctly, you'll get a quote and you can interact with it. You then need to hold down and defend it from zombies for about a minute, not allowing them to enter the ether. This 3rd canister can be located by the storm near the gas station, and you can grab it after you have inputted the correct colours onto the projectors. And you need to do the same step as before, but this time you need to place the canister in the field generator trap under the motel. Once again, a high value target will spawn. If you got the mangler last time, it will be the abomination. If you got the abomination last time, it should be a mangler. In this case, it's an abomination. Once again, you need to just keep shooting it, but don't kill it until it's on low health. Until it glows purple, then once again activate the field generator trap, luring the abomination near the canister, and you need to kill it once again whilst it's within the purple etheric field. Once again, make sure that the boss is close enough to the trap as you kill it. After killing it, once again, it will suck up the soul, the essence, charging the canister. After you have done this, you'll get some dialogue. You then can collect the canister and bring it back over to the church once again, and you have 90 seconds once again to make your way back to the church, to the machine, and insert it into the machine. You'll then get some dialogue from Panos. You need to be prepared here because you're about to head into the final boss fight, but this one isn't too difficult, but be readily prepared. Perks, decently leveled weapons, pack-a-punch, a ray gun. You will already have someone on your team at least having the jet gun, of course. Make sure you've got enough armor, ammo, etc. So yeah, have a triple leveled up legendary weapon, as many perks as you can, and have a weapon as well that can deal a lot of damage and has a lot of bullets because a lot of bosses will spawn in. As well as make sure you have self-revives and your field upgrades are charged. Bring some score streaks, a mutant injection, whatever the case may be. And you can take a little break here to get prepared and get everything you need, but when you are ready, if you head back into the church, you can activate the SOG generator to begin the final sequence. You will then get some dialogue from Dr. Panos, after which a lockdown will then occur where you are trapped within the church and you need to survive a total of 3 different waves. The first wave, you'll just get bombarded with zombies. One mangler HVT will spawn in. It's recommended to kind of just loop around around the church, focus on taking him out first, but relatively straightforward. The second wave, once again you're going to get bombarded with zombies, but there will also be 2 manglers will spawn in that you need to take out. Once again, focus on killing them, try and loop around, give yourself enough breathing room and space. Then for the third wave, you'll also get a bunch of zombies, and 4 elite manglers will spawn in, and 2 elite abominations in this final wave. And it is also possible that the amount of bosses you get is adjusted depending on how many players are in your game, or if you're in solo. I'm not exactly sure. Once you have survived all 3 waves successfully, destroyed and decimated all, the machine will then turn into a soul box. And you just need to kill zombies, of course, by it, which will charge the machine, after which Pericles Panos will join you, and you'll get the ending cutscene. So with that said, the team on Liberty Falls of Operators is dead, so we're probably just going to have the set crew from Terminus in the future DLC. Panos sucked up their essence, taking them from him to restore his life, essentially, which definitely has major lore implications. I'll have a full storyline video breaking this down from the Terminus one as well. And after you've completed the Easter egg, you then have a choice after the ending cutscene if you want to continue the game or not, although canonically, obviously, they're dead, but they're letting you keep on playing. And if you choose to continue and stay in your game, you'll be granted with a bunch of loot and rewards. So I would definitely recommend doing that. You'll get loads of legendary loot, you'll get a full perkaholic if you didn't have the perks already, you'll get a ray gun and so many other awesome things. It's possible it's not exactly the same in every single game either, or depending on how many players is in your game, I'm not exactly sure, but it'll be a bunch of stuff to satisfy you. Great rewards. And yeah, that's how you do the full quest for Liberty Falls. Okay, so I believe that is literally all of the Easter eggs on Liberty Falls, but if any more are found, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I've tried to compile absolutely everything. Of course, people made videos in the first couple days, so they were missing quite a few, but chances are there are even more because so many keep getting found. But thank you for watching. I'll have one on Terminus very soon as well. Enjoy.